Well, good morning, everybody. It's just after 4 a.m. here up in the mountains. And I've been sleeping well. I just went to bed early because they had their first ceremony last night, but I couldn't participate because I'm still clearing some medication I had been taking out of my system. And that medication and the psychedelic does not mix well. So I won't be having my first actuation ceremony until a week from now. Fortunately, I'm here 2 weeks. So by that time, the medicine will have cleared out of my system and there won't be any conflicts or any problems or health issues. And I'm okay with that because my health comes first. Um, I decided not to go to the ceremony last night because I want my experience of it to be from a blank slate, be my first. I don't want to see other people's reactions. I don't really care to hear about their experiences. I want to keep a blank slate. But one thing I did realize just after these couple of days is that a lot of the psychedelic experiences, the people who've shared with me that they've had, I've already had those experiences without any drugs. For example, I've had visitations from different entities, spirit beings. I'm very psychic, so I can hear what people normally can't hear. For example, I can hear couples arguing and they could be all the way in a different state. I can hear TV shows and I don't have any TV on. I can hear different music, blues, classical. I could just I could tune into different frequencies. You know how we have radio frequencies where we can pick up different radio stations and we could pick up different television stations. Well, I have the ability to tune into different frequencies, and human beings themselves put out their own frequencies. So I can tap into what is going on out there and I can hear it. That only happened for a period of time when I was uh, writing a book. I think I talked about that before. I may talk about it again, where many spirits came to visit me. And I think a lot of these spirits may have been of uh, African Africans, African Americans who have been murdered by Caucasians um, and didn't receive justice because I was writing a book about Trayvon Martin. But when I decided to write that book, the spirits came out. Do you hear me? It was so bad. The spirit interaction, I couldn't get enough sleep. I thought I was going to die from sleep deprivation. But anyway, back to the ceremonies. I have no fear because I've experienced most of the things that people are talking about that they've experienced. Now, the only thing that I haven't is I actually have not seen like an alien. Um, I have not seen deceased people. You know, I have not wanted to. Um, excuse me, that has been scary to me. So, since I've been here, my desires and expectations have changed from what I want to get out of the ceremony. And I met with a shaman yesterday, and we had a good conversation. And uh, he suggested that maybe, you know, that would be one of the things that I want to open up to actually being able to see the other spirit beings, on our planet or that come to our planet that people cannot normally see. So I have changed my desired outcome to be one of fully opening up all of my psychic faculties. Um, I am a psychic. Like I told you, I have clairvoyance, I have clairaudience, I have clairsentience, where I can, well, that's like feeling, but I can actually physically feel the touch of a spirit. I can feel the touch of invisible uh, life forms. Um, so I want to have all of my faculties fully awakened so that I can use those fully in service that God has planned for me to provide before I leave this earth. I sort of feel like time is a little bit short. I mean, yeah, we all die. Hopefully we grow to a nice old age in a healthy way. But I just want to make sure that I complete the task that I was born to carry out. That's very important to me before I leave this earth. My religion is love. I judge everything by love. How much love does a person express? I don't care about your religion or anything like that. I would like to see more people that look like me from America, in places like this. Most places I've gone to, I've been the only person of color. I'm just rambling now. I'm up. I'll be going back to bed in about 15 minutes. But have access to the Wi-Fi, so I'm going to do this recording and upload it. But yeah, so I'm not afraid of the psychedelic experience after taking this drink. Oh yes, the shaman gave me some plants. There are a lot of medicinal properties in plants, herbs. So he gave me some plants to boil. And last night I boiled them and I basically inhaled, the steam. That's one part of it. And what these plants do is they further purify my body, remove the medicines, remove any toxins and things like that. It purifies my body. And this is to further prepare me for the ceremony. And then the second thing I will do with this pot of plants that I have boiled is when I go to take a shower, I will pour the liquid of the plants onto my body and also wash so that it will continue to pull out any toxins or impurities. The food that we're eating here is very fresh, no chemicals whatsoever, all grown here. I don't know why, but I don't eat much, but I've had several bowel movements here, several. I don't know if that's part of cleansing or is it because I'm up 8,000 feet, in the mountains. I don't know. Um, but my experience here thus far has been very positive. I've had uh, very good feelings since being here. Um, the only one concern I have is that since I won't be doing the ayahuasca ceremonies until next week. I want to make sure I have enough time to just uh, reintegrate, from that experience um, before I go to Vietnam. Because I come out, when I leave here, I go back to America for 2 days. And I'm going to stay in a hotel. So I can only just focus on myself. So that will allow me more time to integrate. And then after those 2 days, I'll be getting back on the plane to go to Vietnam for a month and work with help the elderly, babies, and children teach English. But they're going to train me. I don't know how many of you know, maybe, but I committed myself to a life of service in God's name, for God to lead and guide me into what to do. Yes, I would like a partner, but not as much as I want to do God's will for my life and make sure I get those things done. But yes, it would be nice to have a partner who can travel with me or who I can visit. We can visit each other. But I'm not up for any games, any playing around, cheating, and all that stuff. I don't have time for that. So it has to be someone who's mature, who is spiritual, like myself, uh, and who is open and accepting of who I am, because I will be open and accepting of who they are. I'm doing reading while I'm here, reading books that are here, learning. I will share some of that with you all too. So yeah, I think the biggest thing so far is I learned that many of the spirits that people come here, I'm not going to say that, but many of the spirits that people have when they have this acupuncture drink, I've already had without having taken any drug. So because of that, I have very little fear of what I may experience as a result of taking this plant medicine. This is not the only plant medicine I will take while I'm here. There's another, I think it's called San Pedro, that I will also take. And it's the balance, the masculine and feminine energy. The ayahuasca is a feminine energy plant. So I'll be taking a masculine energy plant. And then there's also possibly a plant that we will smoke. That is, I think it is it's like a psychedelic, but it's not that strong. But like I say, my expectations for coming here have really changed since I've been here. And my desire is to fully open up my psychic abilities to be used in service to mankind. I have come to the place of my life where I know that love is supreme. Loving self and showing love to others is supreme, and supremely important to me and supremely direly needed in the world. So that's where I am now. And be sure to check out my YouTube videos. That's where I'm posting my videos on YouTube, but I'm also linking to Facebook. And I'll be putting up some pictures and things too. So God bless you all. I know that each of us are on our own path and we are at different levels of spiritual development, spiritual consciousness. And I always try to keep that in mind when I talk to a person, to try to kind of gauge where they are on a conscious level, where their level of understanding is. And then there are so many different beliefs too. So I take that into account too, and I'm also open to that. And one thing I'm careful to do is not impress what I believe on anyone, you know. And I'm very open to other people's beliefs because I know each of us has a different path that we take. We all come from different countries, you know. We have different cultures. Um, we've had different pasts, different experiences, different past lives, so different beliefs. So there's no one way. But I do know and truly believe, I'll say this, that what is true for all of mankind, and I truly believe this, is that love of self and showing love to others is the answer to living and having a constructive, productive life on earth. Love. So, what is love? Love basically is just being kind, showing concern for others, you know, being nice. If you just want to take it, break it all the way down, just being nice. Be nice to yourself, be nice to others. That's the simplest explanation of what love is. And then, of course, love can go as deep as even giving up your life for another, like a mother would do for her child. That's a very, very deep love. But the love for mankind that we are to have for each other just means just be nice, be kind. And we know what that is because we have feelings. We know when someone mistreats us. We know how that feels. We know what it means to be mistreated. Everybody knows what it means that when you get kicked, it hurts. And you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be kicked. So it's common sense. If you don't want it to happen to you, then because it is painful, then 9.999 times out of 10, the next person doesn't want it to happen to them either because it would be painful to them too. So that's the simplest form of love. Doing unto others what you would prefer they do to you. In other words, not kick you, and not doing unto others what you don't want them to do to you. Again, don't kick them, you know. They would prefer a hug over a kick. So it's simple. It's not let's not make stuff complicated. You know, and that movie, Tom Hanks, I think it was. Was it Tom Hanks? I'm not sure if it was Tom Hanks. But the guy said, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old child. So let's keep things simple. All right. God bless all of you. May you continue to grow your path. Reach out, learn new and different information. Expand your consciousness. My ultimate goal is to achieve the Christ consciousness, to become like Jesus Christ, to have that level of love and understanding of myself and of humanity. That's my objective. That's my ultimate objective. And just like Jesus loved mankind, was of service to mankind, I want to be of service. And I think we should all be of service to mankind and to each other. So God bless you all. I'm going to go back in here, read a little bit more, and go back to sleep. And then just get up and do some gardening. The food, because we grow all the food here. Do some gardening and maybe some class and just relax. There's nothing really else too much going on. So take care, everybody. Choose happiness. Choose love. Another belief that I'm coming to develop is that the life that we are born into, we're not necessarily born into it because of anything we've done in a previous lifetime. That could be the reason why we're born into the circumstances we're born into. But another reason we may be born into the circumstances that we're born into is because as humans on earth, we have to experience every aspect of life on earth. That means the good and the bad. We have to experience both sides, okay? So we may be born into circumstance because it's now our time to experience that. But the key, regardless of the reason we're born into that circumstance, to learn from it, to ultimately learn to forgive, to release. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is just deciding, hey, I'm going to let this go because this thing just hurts me. It keeps hurting me. I'm just do a separate video on that. But in short, it's like, I'm going to let this go. I don't want to hurt anymore. I'm tired of carrying this. Like carrying a big old sack of bricks on your back, you know. And so I'm just drop this sack. I'm like, I don't have to carry this sack. I just drop it. And I'm ready to drop it. So you got to get to a point where you can just drop it. Be ready to drop it. Anyway, that'll be a separate video. So anyway, bye.